we're going to start off with Kinda Consensual, because this is a follow-up to Nick's video about Cracker Barrel. And I guess they're going to go into the fact that Cracker Barrel has backtracked on everything. And their entire plan with the logo, with the remodeling the stores, they shit-canned all of it. Which means Nick was proved right. Chances are Nick was probably proved right, and that's what they are going to talk about in this.
They got Cracker Barrels back.
Yeah, I did a whole video on it. I'm convinced it's a marketing ploy.
I mean, if it's just a marketing ploy, genius.
I mean, if it is, it got everybody talking about it. And it's
Yeah.
so easy
And
as
switched it back after a week.
yeah.
Not bad.
This will come out after the video's coming out in like 2 days, so I can just go over it here. My entire theory when I dug into it is like all the news headlines are like Cracker.
Redmond, I'll agree with that. I don't think people stopped going to Cracker Barrel. I do fully believe that because don't forget also the quote unquote changes, especially with the logo, the thing that like sparked the massive backlash with Cracker Barrel was the logo. And that because of what happened with the logo, that dovetailed into people talking about, oh yeah, by the way, did you also know they've been changing several of the stores and they've been remodeling several of the stores with a more modern look, and then people became more aware of the modern look, and it all just kind of snowballed from there. And so yeah, and this shitstorm when it happened literally lasted maybe a week, maybe. Lasted perhaps a week. So I have no doubt that nobody, like anybody that was going to go to Cracker Barrel, didn't suddenly change their minds to go, I'm not going to Cracker Barrel now because of this. It lasted all of maybe a week. And so, yeah, people continued probably just going to Cracker Barrel as normal. They probably didn't lose any customers. The stock hit him. The stock tanked like a motherfucker for sure. And notice, that's what got them to pay attention. Because while their customer base didn't decline, their stock went in the toilet, and that's what got them attention. Is their stock price, their money went way down. And that's what got their attention. As I always say, if you want to get a company's attention, you hit them in the wallet. And hello, Dash. Welcome. I hope you enjoy the live version as much as you've enjoyed the videos. Exactly. Money talks and bullshit walks. That's the way of the world. Uh-huh. And Gigo Fingers, we actually did see the CEO's history on Nick's video. When we watched Nick's video about Cracker Barrel, he talked about the CEO and her history of fucking up other food franchises like Taco Bell. Yeah, he talked about that. I mean, let's absolutely give Nick the credit that he probably called this right. Absolutely give him that credit. He, at the end of his video, he called it and said, you know, what if this was just a marketing ploy? Like, give him his credit if that is the case. Absolutely.
Let's go over it here. My entire theory when I dug into it is like all the news headlines are like Cracker Barrel remodeled, which kind of implies all of them remodeled. They only remodeled 30 locations out of 660, I think. So it's like, yeah, okay, the stock price dropped $94 million. That's all paper bullshit. That's not a realized loss yet. So the only thing they're out is whatever it costs to remodel 30 restaurants, which if they're smart, it's the 30 restaurants that they were going to close anyways. And how much free publicity have they gotten out of it? $500 million? You know what I mean? So then it's like, okay.
Yeah, like what they would have had to have paid for the digital marketing alone on Twitter. Like think of how many tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars they would have had to pay for the Twitter marketing. They didn't need to. All the pissed off Twitters, and maybe even Blue Sky. I don't know if it ended up on Blue Sky, but all the pissed off tweeters advertising for them. Like that. and they didn't have to pay a fucking dime for it. So
They do that. Everybody now has this vibe of like, oh shit, Cracker Barrel's changing forever. We should go there one last time before it's gone as we know it. So then they have their best year ever. They recoup their lost gains. And the whole strategy behind it is they didn't just remodel the restaurants because nobody was complaining about that. Like nobody ever complained about Cracker Barrel. Like nobody walked into Cracker Barrel and was like, oh shit, it's a Cracker Barrel. I hate it. Like you knew what you were getting into.
okay, let me finish so
So
then I have a
then
counter.
they also revamped the entire menu. They added a bunch of good shit. They supposedly made shit better. And then they brought back all the old shit that they'd gotten rid of over the years that people loved. So then it's like, well, they've burned all these customers.
Okay, so he's not coming to it. I'm going to offer a counterpoint to what Nick said about like the whole thing with the interior. Let me back that up.
It is they didn't just remodel the restaurants because nobody was complaining about that. Like nobody ever complained about Cracker Barrel. Like nobody walked into Cracker Barrel and was like, oh shit, it's a Cracker Barrel. I hate it.
Counterpoint to that is that argument to me carries maybe a little bit less weight because the CEO literally remodeled when in her previous job at Taco Bell, she did a blanket remodeling of all the Taco Bells and everybody loved the interior of the Taco Bells. Nobody likes the corporatized interior now. And so when he's talking about here, it's like they didn't remodel the interiors because nobody hated the interiors of the Cracker Barrel. The same could be said for Taco Bell. The same could be said for McDonald's. So that I don't think that argument carries quite as much weight as Nick might be implying in respect to the interior design. Now, Cracker Barrel is a bit more unique. Cracker Barrel is a bit more unique than those other ones because Cracker Barrel's interior is singular to Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel. It's the down home country style with the country store, and it's a very homey, southern look. It's very distinctively southern, which gave Cracker Barrel its charm. So there is a little something there because Cracker Barrel is different from the likes of Burger King, from the likes of McDonald's, from the likes of Taco Bell. It is different in that respect.
Like you knew what you were getting into. So then they also revamped the entire menu. They added a bunch of good shit. They supposedly made shit better. And then they brought back all the old shit that they'd gotten rid of over the years that people loved. So then it's like, well, they've burned all these customers for having a shitty eating experience. Even if they fix the menu, they're not going to get them to come back in to try it. So they staged this whole marketing thing to get everybody to come in one last time. Oh shit, the food is better. Oh shit, now they changed the logo back. Oh shit, now they're not changing Cracker.
Wait. Giggle fingers. Is that like a meal, chicken and French toast, or did they literally remove their French toast entirely from the menu? Please don't tell me Cracker Barrel took their French toast off the menu. Don't tell me that's happened. That was literally the... I got why? Why would you take away the Cracker Barrel French toast? It was the best thing on their fucking menu. Why? Oh, dear God, why? I love their French toast. That was all I ever ate. That was all I ever had at Cracker Barrel. I had their French toast and their absolutely yummy applewood smoked bacon. And it's gone? Oh. I'm dead now, can you tell? This is me. Cracker Barrel has killed me with their decision. What the hell? That fucking sucks.
Barrel, and I like Cracker Barrel again. I'm 50-50. It's a marketing stunt.
I don't think they're smart enough to make it a marketing stunt. The amount of people that they put in charge of so many other large corporations that have just shit the bed and have been unwilling to turn back and make the correction is, I think this is just the first time that somebody's decided to go back and make the correction.
So what happened with the?
I said this during Nick's video. Nick said that he thinks it's a marketing stunt. I still believe, like I said during Nick's video, is they were testing the waters to see what they could get away with. And when they caught that tremendous amount of backlash and their market share just going through the floor, it's still there on the website. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Oh, I can breathe again. Oh, thank God. Okay, it's still there. Whew. Okay. Yeah, I still fully believe that this was an actual intention. They were testing the waters. Like, how is the public going to respond to it? They started with the renovations of those 36 stores, and there wasn't a very big cubbabaloo about it. And so, like, okay, nobody said a fucking word about this, and we've been able to, like, modernize several of the stores, and there has been any big backlash of it. Let's go the next step, and we'll modernize the logo like we've done with all the other restaurants. And that's when the backlash hit, and that's when the stock market tanked like fucking crazy. And that's when they realized, oh shit, okay, we can't do this. And then they backed off and reverted back to the old logo, and they scrapped any plans for further renovations. I still believe that was what happened. Not with Nick saying it's a genius marketing ploy. I still think that they were planning to do this. And because they were losing money, at least on paper, they're like, okay, we can't do this. We got to back off and we have to backtrack.
Whoever CEO, who was the individual, the
A
female?
woman.
This is great. It's polling great. And then they did that New York dance thing. Did you see that?
A woman did it.
Did you see the little dance thing?
Eli's ignoring
they did
him.
a stand up. Oh, holy shit! Hold on.
I'm not allowed to touch things that aren't my mouse. So then we don't have the recording.
I got you. This is really
Well, while
bad.
you're looking that up, Nick, I want to talk to you about this, and Eli, feel free to listen in. There was a guy on Twitter that had like an interesting rant about the whole change of Cracker Barrel, not just the logo, but also some of the locations. Did you see how some of the locations were going to look too, the newer ones?
Yeah, they're that square modern shit that all restaurants do.
That all restaurants have now, right?
Yeah. It's
So
a real
this
estate
guy-
Yeah.
scam.
What's that?
It's a real estate scam.
Why do you say that?
They like all chain like fast food restaurants are going to disappear in 20 years.
Why do you say that? Would you hold on? I'm
I
going to
wanna
say
hear this
we're
logic.
going in
Okay,
two
go
different
ahead.
directions.
All right, go
I
ahead.
like where you're going with this, but let me finish this thing first because I think they're two interesting points of view in separate ways, but they both have the same topic of restaurants and the business changing, right? So this guy made an interesting point. He goes, McDonald's used to have iconic buildings. Pizza Hut used to have
It did.
iconic buildings. Taco Bell.
Yep.
And now
Yep.
Cracker Barrel. And what have they all done? They've all changed it to the gray box. And his...
I think I know where he's going. He's going with the route of they're easy so that when one restaurant shuts down, another franchise can move in and they have to do very little to change it up to make it their own because they already look all the same. All they have to do is just swap out the logo and they're done. Is what I think where I think Rich is going.
rant was like, this isn't some woke thing taking over. This is good business. Basically, he's saying that because there are so many properties that they own, whether it be Cracker Barrel, especially McDonald's, the iconic structures that they used to have were preventing them from getting good resale on the properties when they were done with them.
Yeah.
Because it's not a weed shop. It's a weed shop that used to be a Pizza Hut because of the iconic red roof. No matter how we paint it, you know it used to be a Pizza Hut. Same thing
Yeah.
with like a Taco Bell. You can spray paint the stucco as much as you want, but it's stucco and the red tile roofing. You get my point, right? The McDonald's, with the golden arches. Now it's gray. But
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, it's got all of them. Pizza Hut, McDonald's.
They're all
Taco
gray
Bell, as you're
boxes
saying.
now. They're all gray
Yep.
boxes. But
Gray
my
or
thing
brown,
is,
It, by the way, it's not just in States too. That's happened in Canada too. All of the Tim Hortons are now the same gray box that McDonald's is, that Burger King is, that Taco Bell is, that Pizza Hut is. Tim Hortons went the same fucking route. The buildings for Tim Hortons are the same as the buildings for McDonald's. Like, if you put them side by side, there'd be very little different. Which giggle fingers? Tim Hortons? Nah, not really. Like, they used to be fine, and now they're just bleh. I've actually got a video we can go over with that one that we'll do a bit later in the stream today. I actually have a video pinned on Tim Hortons that we can go over.
although that is an interesting point of view, I call horseshit on it because, one, most of these places are standalones in their own parking lot.
Yes, Tristan. It watched the video. They exchanged hands a couple of times. I think they got bought out by Wendy's, and then they got bought by Burger King. And they're currently owned by Burger King, and their coffee, they changed their coffee supplier, and now their coffee is absolutely shite. Tim Hortons coffee sucks. McDonald's picked up the coffee supplier that Tim Hortons used to use, so now the McDonald's coffee isn't the coffee that Tim Hortons used to sell, so McDonald's coffee is now better than Tim Hortons.
Even though McDonald's is one of the only restaurants that owns the land that it's on, the other ones don't. Maybe they're starting to do that. But in order to think that far ahead about failure and trying to resell, I just don't see that. You're making your money, you're creating a building, you want an iconic look. That way when people drive by, they're not just like, is that an Office Depot or a Pizza Hut? I don't know. No, they can drive by and immediately go, Pizza Hut, there it is. Iconic thing that I recognize. We like that.
Yeah.
We want that. Let's stop in and get some food instead of looking at their phones and trying to Google where it is and not knowing which gray box it is next to.
Yeah, branding.
Right.
Like, overall.
It's
no
it's
different
overall
than a
branding.
thumbnail, anything. Yeah.
Its overall branding is far more important than 20, 15 years down the line being like, how are we going to get rid of this building that we bought that we thought would last longer than this? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the thing I think that maybe you're not considering is like the resale value of a building, even if it's just the perceived resale value of a building, still has like big implications on a company for being able to report like how much assets they have and everything. So like a McDonald's
losses.
iconic McDonald's building or an iconic Taco Bell, like if you're going to have it appraised, it's going to have a lower appraisal for that reason compared
Yeah.
to, hey, this is a blank slate that you can do whatever with.
Eh?
You know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah.
I understand that.
And yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Is it's far easier to slot in another business into a vacated McDonald's or a vacated Taco Bell or a vacated Pizza Hut now because it's literally just a signage change, and that's it. There's not going to be anything else to identify that this was this restaurant beforehand.
I
Yeah.
get that. But like what? And here's the deal. I think this is where you're getting at. The higher the appraised value, the more money it looks like the business makes or has that they can then be lent by other larger banks to grow.
Well, it's not only a so we're going out of business mentality, Garrett. I also think that these styles of buildings, when they're building them new, are probably cheaper to build also. So not taking into account the ones that were refurbed, that were the old iconic styles and they got refurbed into this corporatized homogenous bullshit. When they build new ones, I suspect they're also going to be cheaper to build than the old style, because with the old style, you had all this accoutrement that was all over the McDonald's, the Taco Bell, the Pizza Hut. They all had very iconographic structures And when it's just a square gray building, they will also be cheaper to build from the ground up. And for those that they've already built, if they ever need to vacate the premises because the business falls in a slump and they need to vacate it, it'll be far easier to sell as just, as they're saying here, the blank slate that all it needs is just a signage change and you're done.
Makes or has that they can then be lent by other larger banks to grow and make more money, etc. Is that like a point you're trying to get to?
Kind of, like, yes, but to take it a little bit deeper, you have to, like, if you were looking at the value of McDonald's property and
Mhm.
you say, I have
That's
50,000
true, Revan.
McDonald's that are the classic iconic building that is essentially garbage. Like, you're either going to have to put some business that's never actually going to thrive, like a weed shop or a vape shop in it. Otherwise, you're going to have to demo this bitch and put your own building on it. And then I also have 50,000 McDonald's that we can pull the ovens out of this shit and you can turn it into a high-end boutique or a Louis Vuitton store or whatever the
Yeah.
tomorrow is going to have a higher value. And also that building, you know, if you build it in 2012, over the course of 20 years, that's going up in value. Whereas that McDonald's building is kind of just like, I invested this money. It's basically garbage. There's no return on
Yep.
perceived value from it.
My
So it's kind of like
pushback-
investing in
It's it.
stocks.
which I understand, right?
Yeah.
But here's my pushback on that. Even though it's
Did you,
you're
Garrett?
right. Yes,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. My pushback is then going to be like, then all of our architecture is going to look like 1970s, 1960s brutalism.
Completely agree.
We're all just
Vespasian? There you go. Vespasian, you called that. You called it the brutalist architecture model. Props to you. Nice call.
we're all going to have ugly ass gray buildings that look like it was painted some sort of dystopian future or past as all
Yeah.
the places we eat. Quick, honey, eat your delicious vitamin pill that we've got vacuum sealed from Greybox Emporium. Like,
Uh-huh.
no human wants to live like that. We need art. We need things for entertainment, shiny doodads and books that spark imagination. That's where consumers want to go buy shit.
We need fidget toys. Where are my fidget toys?
Well, I think you're also taking away consumers want that, but then on the business side,
Yes,
you
oh
have
yes,
that
Devious,
mindset,
absolutely.
This is the future, and even consumer side. Look at modern, that quote unquote modern real estate. It is very blocky, hard lines, gray, black, subtle colors, and that is taking off, especially in your high end. Was it tech homes? So then companies look at that. It's like, oh, tech people are doing this. We should do. And your average customer or somebody buying a house thinks that's really high end. Oh, since people want that, we should build our buildings like that. And then that will drive traffic to it. Now, it probably won't drive traffic. That's the problem with it.
Nope.
It's higher ups at companies making these big decisions
They look
and
at
not
data.
thinking.
They look at
Yep,
data and they're
exactly.
like, what's the best, safest color for resale value? Millennial gray. I mean, look at
Yeah.
car colors. Like, cool car
Yeah,
colors
like,
are
oh,
dying.
dude, bro,
Like
gone.
every new car off the lot is gray,
Black.
black,
White,
lighter gray, darker gray, blue gray, green gray, 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 gray.
Yeah.
Every car is gray now.
Yeah, like you need to well, Revan, I'd say more often than not, you need to special order a red or a green. Like you see this in the car lots. You don't see colors on car lots anymore. It is basically it ranges from white to black, and then then all those colors in between. You don't see the reds, you don't see the greens, you don't see the yellows, you don't see the blues, unless it's like a steel gray blue. Like car lots had become dull, just like he said. It's depressing.
Yeah, when's the last time you saw a yellow car?
Or a blue or a, you know what I mean? A red. If it
Mhm.
wasn't, and even if you do see those crazy colors, it's like a Corvette or a Ferrari. Somebody that wants
And
you.
and it's typically a special order. You need to special order that color from the dealer. And my guess is the dealer's going to say, okay, that color is X amount of dollars more. Like they might act, I don't know for sure, but it would not surprise me that if you tried to get something outside of white, gray, or black, if you wanted to get like a sporty yellow, a green, a royal blue, a fire engine red, my guess is that would probably be an extra charge to get that, and they would have to special order it in.
To be like, hey, look at my dope ass car. Nobody's buying a, you know.
Okay, it's only partially true. Sipping John, educate me. Educate me. Why is it only partly true? What part of that is not true? The part where they don't have colors on the parking lot, or that it has to be special ordered, or that it has to, extra increased price for the colors. Like which one of those am I wrong about? Because I'm like, you have the inside track. I would love to know this. Eh? Okay, I'm sure you're typing a lot, so I'll keep going. The video's almost done. You keep typing.
Like, hey, look at my dope ass car.
Oh. We get in green and blue semi-regularly without a special order, also red. Okay, semi-regularly. So, and my guess is probably as soon as and I'm guessing those probably fly right off the wand as soon as they come in, and you're left with the dull colors left behind, would be my guess.
Nobody's buying a, a Camry that's yellow. Like,
unless
it's
it's
not
a taxi.
Oh, true.
This world is getting gray and gay.
Well, there it is. We didn't quite get our answers, but we had some very good hypotheses. We did get some very nice hypotheses in there, didn't we?